Portland Art Museum's new exhibit, Global Icons, Local Spotlight, contemporary art from the collections of Jordan D. Schnitzer, is opening this weekend. You could see more than 65 works by celebrated artists of the 20th century, including Andy Warhol, Helen Frankenthaler, Ellsworth Kelly, and Robert Rauschenberg. This will all be on view through January 11th, right through the opening of PAM's new expanded campus, which is happening on November 20th. Kids 17 and under are always free. Grab your tickets now at portlandartmuseum.org. You have less than a month left to get your badges for Rose City Comic Con, Portland's premier pop culture event. And they have an even more star-studded roster with indie film icon and White Lotus Season 3 star Parker Posey in attendance. And that's along with members of the Dungeons & Dragons web series Critical Role and Doctor Who stars Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper. This is all happening September 5th through the 7th, and you can go grab your badges now at rosecitycomiccon.com. That's rosecitycomiccon.com. Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about the biggest news from the ongoing special legislative session, the push to end vote by mail in Oregon, a much-loved steakhouse reopening after a fire, and so much more. Plus, we're diving into our mailbag and hearing from you, our listeners. And joining me on this midweek roundup is our very own executive producer, John Notarianni. It's Wednesday, September 3rd. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Welcome, everyone, to our midweek roundup. John, thanks for joining me this morning.
Hey, Claudia. Happy September.
Happy September. We're coming back from a very long Memorial Day weekend, so we figured we'd catch everyone up with some news that we might have missed late last week or over the weekend. So we're going to be doing our headline lightning round, where we go through 5 headlines and we each get about a minute to break it down for each other. And yes, it is timed. Losers get slimed like a 90s Nickelodeon show. That'd be amazing.
I wonder what that bucket was in my office hanging over my head.
John, do you want to show everyone how we do it?
Yeah, I am ready to kick us off. Count me in.
Sweet. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, this is some news from over the Memorial Day weekend. On Monday, Governor Kotek's transportation funding package made it through the State House. Bare minimum of votes. It was 36-12. That is the exact 3/5 majority that is necessary to pass new taxes. This, of course, was a special emergency legislative session because the legislature failed to pass this transportation package during the normal session, which happened earlier this year, which made everybody say, oh shit, ODOT is about to run out of money. If you want to know what's in the bill, you can listen back to Friday's episode because I talked about it at length and I only have 60 seconds right now. Interesting, there was a flip-flop. One Republican voted for the bill, one Democrat did not. Representative Anessa Hartman of Gladstone, a Democrat, said nay. Cyrus Javadi of Tillamook said, yeah, we actually need this. He's a Republican. It now goes to the Senate, where there's also concerns about the margins of whether it will pass.
Perfect.
Hey.
Maybe a second, but I'm going to give it to you for swagger.
But yeah, I mean, this is like the big deal of the season, making sure that this goes through. One detail I wasn't able to get in my 60 seconds that I want to put in. Representative Paul Evans, Democrat of Monmouth, had this quote that I loved. Right now, ODOT has a sucking chest wound.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you kept an eye on it because I remember when you presented this on the Friday Roundup, you're just like, there's so much is going to happen and we're not going to know until next week. But we got to put this on the radar.
Yeah. All right, Claudia, you got one for us?
Yes, I do.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
According to a lead supporter hoping to end voting by mail in Oregon, the movement is gaining traction. Ben Edel, a Republican political consultant from Tualatin, who is, in fun fact, by the way, currently contesting his own election loss, has pointed to the initiative gathering at least 25,000 signatures as proof that this is what the people want. The initiative is going to need more than 156,000 verified signatures to qualify for the November 2026 ballot. According to records, supporters have raised nearly $9,000, but have spent nearly $12,000. This all comes after President Trump said late last month that he wanted to end mail-in voting. And as a reminder, mail-in voting, it's the reasons Oregonians vote at a higher rate than most Americans. That is all I have.
Bam, 48 seconds. Speedy and tight. Very nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that, one, this is still happening. There's still this initiative that is still getting pushed. It's Initiative 37, I believe. And that they're really, really confident it's going to pass, even though pretty much everyone that was interviewed about this was like, there's no way it's going to pass. There's no way it's even going to get on the ballot.
Yeah, they're optimistic, but yeah, it doesn't seem like this is ultimately going to be going anywhere. And I do love that the guy who lost his election is like, what if we change the rules?
I know, exactly. Oh, yeah. Do you have another one for me?
I do. Give me the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
It is hard to run a hospital. Hospitals are losing money, especially the larger urban hospitals in Oregon. Across the state, hospitals lost nearly $300 million in the first quarter of 2025. That's the second quarter in a row that hospitals have been in the red. A couple individual numbers. Providence St. Vincent lost nearly $100 million in that time frame. Providence Portland more than $86 million. Legacy Emmanuel, over $20 million. It does seem like the bigger hospitals are the ones that are having the hardest time in urban areas. In rural areas, it seems like hospitals are doing a little bit better. But they said payroll is the largest expense, and that has been going up. Interesting bright spot, OHSU Hospital was the rare exception, $13 million in profit. State officials are saying, though, like, please don't panic. There is a cyclical nature of these things. This doesn't mean that all the hospitals are about to disappear.
All right, still 1 second over, but you know what? We're going to give it to you.
Got to shave that second off.
Wow.
Yeah. Payroll. I mean, you got to pay people. You got to pay people. A lot of people work at the hospital, and there has been like a big unionization drive at a lot of hospitals, which is a good thing. I think that especially in the wake of the pandemic, we want our people who are providing us life-saving care to be paid well. But it is not an easy business.
Okay, can I just tell you my crazy
Do you have a plan to fix hospitals, Claudia?
No, I have a conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
that I'm sure, of course they're saying payroll. I'm sure that's the truth. But there's just always a part of me that's like, really? Paying people? That's what's the most expensive, not our completely broken system. Okay. It just feels so, I don't know, like on the capitalism nose of America to be like, these goddamn workers. It's like, not our system. It's that you've got to, pay, let me look, doctors and nurses to do their job. Sorry.
Yeah.
But okay, sure.
I feel you. On to happier news.
Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ringside Steakhouse, one of Portland's oldest family-run restaurants, is open again after a 4-month closure due to a kitchen fire. It closed back in April. That kitchen fire was extensive, so it had to close, but it was able to reopen its doors earlier last month. Ringside has now survived 2 fires, a pandemic, and veganism. All of their 80 staff members were kept on payroll during the 4-month closure, which includes a sous chef who's been on staff for 48 years, John. They opened their doors in 1944. Their name comes from the boxing matches that were held at a nearby stadium. Boxing gloves still hang from the rafters above their bar. And just a reminder, they have the best onion rings in the world, according to James Beard. That's all I have, dude. I'm just going to keep talking.
56 seconds. You nailed it. I didn't know that about the name. That's a good little factoid. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
My favorite of all time Ringside Steakhouse anecdote is from the COVID-19 pandemic when they decided to sell their frozen steaks and they had like a mile-long traffic jam of people trying to get Ringside steaks. I just like that memory.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but is it Eric Warrenheimer or whatever? He's like the comedian duo.
He's the Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric. Yeah. The Eric of Tim and Eric. He's a big foodie. I don't know if you know this, but he's putting out like all of these very focused books on restaurants and whatever. And so he's doing one on steakhouses. And he's routinely always said Ringside is the best steakhouse in the entire United States, which is kind of cool. I mean, I know Eric of Tim and Eric, but like
Eric approved. No, I'll take it. I trust Eric.
Yeah. Also the fact that they kept all of their staff on payroll, like so classy. Awesome. Such a classy joint.
Yeah.
Are you ready for yours?
All right, last one. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Stumptown Coffee Roasters has a new owner coming down the pipe. Stumptown was founded in 1999, of course, acquired by Pete's Coffee in 2015, but now they are going to be a part of Keurig Dr. Pepper. That company is paying $18 billion for the parent company, Peet's Coffee. Then they're going to split it into two different companies, actually. They're going to have like a cold beverage-focused company and just a coffee-focused company that's going to come through in the next year or two. This is interesting because it means that Stumptown is now going to be a part of a company that is one of the biggest coffee businesses in the world, similar to the size of Nestle's coffee business. There's no word yet on the impact that this is going to have locally, because Stumptown does have about 220 employees, 70% of them in Portland. I have two questions. One, which company does the cold brew go to? Two, are there going to be Stumptown coffee Keurig pods?
3 seconds over.
Oh.
You got slimed.
Oh.
That is, I don't know. I mean, do you think that's going to be a drop in quality?
I mean, it could mean anything. This is like a major global conglomerate buying up Stumptown Coffee. And like, again, they do have a corporate HQ here in Portland, but there's going to be some restructuring. So we'll have to keep an eye on Stumptown and make sure that they keep doing what they do.
Yeah. Are you a big Stumptown fan?
I will happily grab like a Stumptown cold brew out of the case at New Seasons.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't make it into like a Stumptown coffee shop very often, but like, yeah, if I'm looking at a shelf of coffees, I'll buy a bag of Stumptown for sure.
Oh, all right, just curious. All right, well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're diving into our listener mailbag.
That's a dive sound.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Cathedral Park Co-Housing is creating a community of connection and belonging in North Portland. Their common spaces are designed for accessibility, helping create a multi-generational, mixed-income, and mixed-ability community that welcomes everyone. Plus, their land is walking distance or a very short drive to many amenities, including, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful parks in our city and plenty of nature trails. To learn more about Cathedral Park Co-Housing and see if it might be a right fit for you or a loved one, go to cathedralparkcohousing.com/events. That's cathedralparkcohousing.com/events and sign up for a virtual information session or just call Alicia at 503-319-5003. Act soon because they are close to breaking ground and homes are selling fast. All right, here we go. John, do you want to kick us off? I believe this one's about our cheap eats episode.
Yeah, we had an episode the other week talking about the cheapest places to get great food in Portland. Rose E. wrote in, wanted to add one thing to our list. If you're checking out the best burritos and don't mind the trek to Gresham, give Agave Azul a try. It's a hidden gem. Claudia, I don't know this one.
I've never heard of it.
Agave Azul?
Agave Azul. Do not know. That's blue agave. In English, I don't know what I'm translating. I'm like, in case you didn't know, John, that's blue agave. Yeah, no, I don't ever really get out to Gresham, so this is good to know.
Yeah, well, I'm putting it on my list if I'm ever out east.
Yeah. Well, here's another one about our show last week with CityCast Portland member Scott Whipple, who during the pandemic walked through all 94, 95, or 96 Portland neighborhoods. If you listen to the show, you'll understand why there is a question mark.
Subject to dispute, yeah.
Yeah. Nicholas T. wrote in and said that he enjoyed the podcast and it really made him want to explore more of Portland. Well done. And we have another note, this time in defense of their neighborhood. Amy M. wrote, as soon as Claudia asked what Scott's least favorite neighborhood was, I braced for impact. We've got a bad rap, and while the boundaries of East Columbia do encompass the areas that Scott mentioned, I'd argue that he wasn't in the quote-unquote neighborhood, he was in the industrial area. Unfortunately, he missed some really nice spots that East Columbia has to offer. Specifically, we have the Children's Arboretum, which is a wonderful place to walk your dog on leash, as well as many low-traffic residential areas and some of the nicest neighbors you could ask for. Also, Jubitz is awesome. Restaurant, bar, venue, hotel, movie theater, gas station. It has everything. What more do you want? Don't judge a neighborhood by where Google Maps dropped a pin, Scott. Winky face.
I love a good neighborhood defense. And I will say, Jubitz is a wonderland.
And I have been to this arboretum. It's really nice.
Yeah.
John, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, so we got a couple comments on a conversation from our Friday roundup a few weeks ago when we talked about the tax burden here in Portland. Specifically, I voiced some skepticism about how many high income earners are actually leaving the city of Portland because of taxes. And this is a comment from Adrian T. Adrian is a CityCast Portland neighbor. Thank you, Adrian. And she says that taxes were the largest factor in her family's decision to actually move away from the city last year. Here's what Adrian had to say. There are lots of considerations involved, and for us, it was the cumulative tax burden plus safety concerns after multiple home break-ins, combined with pressures like a pay cut, daycare costs, spouses' unemployment, and other financial obligations. I voted for every local tax measure, but eventually, despite earning a healthy six-figure salary on paper, and she writes in quotes, cue the tiny violin. Our taxes were totaling thousands per month and eating into our savings. With little else in our control, leaving Portland became inevitable. I do agree with John's overall point that society benefits when higher earners pay more because they can and should. That said, speaking as a former Portlander, we are too eager to approve more taxes and just to expect high-income earners to take it on the chin. They eventually may not be able to, or separately, they may also simply resent being expected to always fund programs that leave tax dollars unspent and mismanaged. Claudia is already nodding vociferously in agreement.
It's the unspent and mismanaged part, John.
I know.
It's the salt to the wounds. Oh, man.
But yeah, her and like Adrian, I'm sure there are plenty of other people in your situation as well.
Yeah, and I do want to back up Adrian and let you know that several other people also wrote in with very similar sentiments. But here is Mike L. writing in response to the same conversation we had. And he wrote, I'll be moving to Portland soon, and from the outside looking in, the decision to place a high tax burden, especially on high earners, relative to the surrounding areas seems downright silly. If your municipality county is geographically large and is economically dominant, like LA County, where I am now, you can have high taxes because the adjoining counties are far less livable and have less opportunity. But when you can literally commute into Portland from 3 different counties, people will absolutely choose to leave because the opportunity cost is relatively low. As Claudia alluded to, I was under the impression that the data supported the outmigration of high earners to these counties at the expense of Multnomah County. To be clear, I am a high earner, but believe in the value of contributing my fair share to create a more equitable city with a meaningful safety net. I would love to live in a utopian socialist society, but in a county where people have freedom of movement, it does not make sense to implement such high local taxes in Multnomah County's situation. That being said, I am moving to Portland because it is awesome. And then he said, point John, I guess, but I don't know what that alludes to because it sounds like he was just agreeing with what I had said. Did you?
I hear this as like policy perspective, but I'm moving to Portland because it's awesome. So
yeah,
word.
Cool. But I mean, having an opinion about stuff before you move in here is bold, and I cannot wait to hear how your opinion either evolves or changes once you're here a few years.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for writing in. Always a pleasure to hear from you. You can email us your thoughts at portland@citycast.fm, and during our mailbag, we will definitely read them. Thank you so much, John, for hanging out with me and doing this little midweek roundup. I mean, I guess I'll see you in 2 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Claudia.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.